everyone and welcome to Cardiff Central Railway Station. And to kick things off we see the departure of 197110 with the 1601 Transport for Wales service through to Fishguard Harbour. Whilst arriving in the background is 150-259 with the 1604 Transport for Wales service and Penarth through to Caerphilly. Departed over on the far side is 153913 and 153333 with the 1605 Transport for Wales service from Corriton through to Penarth.
Pan yn ymuno â'r tren, byddwch yn ofalus o gap rhwng y tren a ymyl y platfform, os gwelwch yn dda.
The next train to arrive at platform.
Departing right on his heels is 231005 with the 1609 Transport for Wales service from Lumley through to Barry Island. Whilst coming in the opposite direction is 231003, working the 1611 Transport for Wales service and Barry Island through to Lumley. Departing over on the far side is 150-280 with the 1613 Transport for Wales service from Merthyr Tydfil through to Aberdare. Whilst arriving in the opposite direction is 197125, working the 1608 Transport for Wales service from Maesteg through to Cheltenham Spa. Next off, disappearing to the carriage sidings after working terminated with a Transport for Wales service off Treherbert is 150-252. Arriving next into the station is 197116, working the 1622 Transport for Wales service from Swansea through to Chester. Departing over on the far side is 197002, working the 1616 Transport for Wales service from Gloucester through to Maesteg. Whilst coming in the opposite direction is 153914, working the 1618 Transport for Wales service from Penarth through to Corriton. Arriving next into the station is 800-008 and 800-036, with the 1618 Great Western Railway service from Carmarthen through to London Paddington. Arriving right behind him to form the 1627 Great Western Railway service through to Portsmouth Harbour will be 158760. Whilst passing in the background 10 minutes early will be an unknown Class 66 loco working 6V75 from D-Marsh reception sidings through to Markham TC. Next arriving into the station is 150-257 with the 1622 Transport for Wales service from Barry Island through to Bogoid. Off in the opposite direction is 153-320, working the 1620 Transport for Wales service and Caerphilly through to Penarth. Arriving next into the station is 150-285, working the 1626 Transport for Wales service from Aberdare through to Merthyr Tydfil. Heading off to the carriage sidings after terminating with the Great Western Railway service off London Paddington is 800-309. Next arriving into the station is 153-333 and 153-913 with the 1634 Transport for Wales service and Penarth through to Caerphilly. Next up, heading to the carriage sidings empty stock after terminating with the Great Western Railway service off Penzance is 800-027. As 67013 pushes its stock in, waiting to run the 1649 Transport for Wales service through to Manchester Piccadilly, we see the departure of 153926, working the 1635 Transport for Wales service from Corriton through to Penarth. Arriving next into the station is 153325 and 153927, working the 1641 Transport for Wales service from Bridgend through to Lumley. Departing off in the opposite direction is 150255 with the 1639 Transport for Wales service from Lumley through to Bridgend. Departing right behind him will be 150258, working the 1643 Transport for Wales service from Murphy Titfield through to Aberdare. Next up to depart from the station will be 800-302, working the 1639 Great Western Railway service from London Paddington through to Swansea, departing 6 minutes late. Whilst coming in the opposite direction, ready to form the 1654 Great Western Railway service through to London Paddington is 800-309. Arriving over on the far side is 153320, working the 1648 Transport for Wales service from Penarth through to Corriton. Next out to depart is 150-259 with the 1650 Transport for Wales service from Caerphilly through to Penarth. Next arriving into the station is 150-229, working the 1652 Transport for Wales service from Barry Island through to Byrgoed. Arriving next into the station to form the 1659 Great Western Railway service through to Taunton will be 800-027. Whilst arriving into the station after waiting at the red signal is 150-208, working the 1656 Transport for Wales service from Aberdare through to Merthyr Tydfil. Arriving to terminate with a Transport for Wales service off of Carmarthen is 197-017. Heading off to the depot after terminating with the Great Western Railway service off Portsmouth Harbour is 166-218. Next out to depart is 231-007, working the 1659 Transport for Wales service from Byrgoed through to Barry Island. And your final video of the session is 153-926 arriving as 197-112 departs, working the 1704 Transport for Wales service from Penarth through to Caerphilly and the 1703 Transport for Wales service from Manchester Piccadilly through to Tenby respectively. Ball game. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed what you saw, click on the 2 videos here at the end screen. Helps out the channel. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you are new and got this far. And we'll see you all in the next video, folks, wherever that may take us. We'll see you then, folks.